Hey, tappers. Hello, hello. How are you today? Thank you for joining me. I am getting started a few minutes early because it's been a little while since I gave just a general introduction and what we're doing here. I know we've had a lot of new people join. So, if you happen to cross this and you're not really sure what EFT or tapping is, these next few minutes are for you. So, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. This is a system of techniques that was discovered over 20 years ago and has since been heavily scientifically validated through many, many different, very top notch ways in the scientific community. There's been over 100 peer reviewed published studies that you can find online. There's a vast array of resources for tapping, and it's called tapping because this is how you execute it. This may make it look familiar to you. Um, but however, what we do here is what's called clinical EFT. And clinical EFT are the 48 techniques that have been clinically studied. So when you come across statistics about how effective tapping is, it's the techniques that we use here, and specifically at our company, EFT Universe, um, where you'll get those kinds of results. It's a very simple process. So it's very easy to adjust and shift into something that you appreciate. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work as effectively or across the board as maybe the clinical EFT techniques do. And the difference is that these have been tested and shown to be effective to a very high degree. So, the way it works as far as where we're here today, I don't go into an explanation of what tool we're using or how it works or any of the science stuff. We have lots of videos for that on our channel. Also, tons and tons of resources for it that are all free on our website. Plus, we have classes and workshops and courses that you can purchase to also deepen that understanding as well, which actually right now, the vast majority of our classes are on a 50 off sale. So if you're curious, definitely go check that out. Again, that's at eftuniverse.com is the website. So to use EFT, you just follow along with me. There are certain points that we'll be tapping on. The pressure is something pretty light, about as heavy as you would tap like on a keyboard. If you have something that's on your mind that's causing you stress, that is feeling hopeless, overwhelming, maybe you feel alone, maybe some sense of violation has occurred. Those are all things that you can put in the chat if you feel comfortable. If not, you don't have to. It will still work even if we don't tap specifically on what it is that you're focused on, because the place where all of this is addressed is in your own brain. Okay, we're communicating with our conscious brain to our subconscious brain. So the important thing is your awareness of what you're going through, and I'll kind of guide you through that as well. So again, just follow along with me. I'll show you all the points to tap. And whether or not you put something in the chat, I'm glad that you're here with us, and I hope that you feel some relief at the end. You can always ask questions, and if you want to email me, you're more than welcome to do that as well. My email is amanda@eftuniverse.com. Yes, sorry, I had to know. It's like, am I saying the website rather than my email? I was a little scattered in that second. Okay, I'm going to go to the chat, say hi to you guys, and then we'll get going. Hi, John. Hey, Mama Hutch. So, Mama Hutch, I got your email. I glanced through it. I will respond to you. I will likely have specific videos for you rather than having that, unless it just happens to come up, since what you emailed me about is pretty specific. But I wanted to acknowledge you. And I do have two emails that we will be doing together as a group that I feel are highly valid and likely for kind of a group experience. Okay. Hi, Valeria. Oh, thank you. I've been having fun this last week playing around with like hair. This is just a gel. It washes out. But yeah, I like to play. Hi, Snea. Happy holidays to you too. Hi, Claire. Adriana. Oh, from Brazil. Hi, Kate. Okay, Lissy, hello. Jamel. Sharon, you're welcome, Mama Hutch. Stuart, it's good to see you. Hi, Katie. You're welcome for that explanation. I'm glad you have that now. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a moment to get centered and grounded. So we're just going to take a deep breath in, whatever's comfortable for you. I'm not going to count or anything. And just let your body kind of deflate. Don't worry about posture right now. Just get relaxed. Like, give your body that signal of like, right now, we're just letting go. We're just releasing. Let's take another breath. Let it out. Just sit here for a moment. Focus in on your body. I'm going to draw all of our attention back to where we are right now in space and time. So I want you to see where your kneecaps are in space. What about your pinky toe? Where are your ears? Where is your spine? Where are the inside of your elbows? Where's the roof of your mouth? How about the tip of your nose? Let's take one more breath. Okay, I'm going to set our intention for this session. So I'm going to put my hands over my heart. You're welcome to join me. You can close your eyes if you want to. And my intention for this session is for all of us to feel connected and heard and seen, even though we are in different places in the world, having different experiences at different times of day. That right now we get to feel connected and we get to be a member of this community that we've formed here today. And that whether or not you feel like putting anything in the chat box, that you do get to feel relief today and you do get to receive insights and perspectives. And at the very least, know that you are cared for and that you matter. Okay, let's take one final breath. Go ahead and release your arms, open your eyes. Now, the two tappings that we're doing, let me go to that. And I am stating them both anonymously today. They both kind of have to do with, this time of year, the end of the year, things kind of being in the past and not really having a settling with that, or things not being ideal as they're sitting right now. So let's go with things not being ideal right now, and then we'll go into like regret of what's happened in the past. So I know right now is typically a more upbeat time of year. The holidays tend to be where like, yay, everybody's finally happy, or at least trying really hard to be happy. But it's not always that way. So give yourself permission that even if you've been in a really upbeat space, don't allow the thought of, oh no, this is going to drag me down. No, 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 no. We're just giving ourselves permission that if there's another voice that's coming in, that we're just going to let that speak just for a few minutes, and so that we can let it go. It can have what it needs to say, and it can be released. If you don't have that, then you can tap from the perspective of, even though I don't have this, I hold space for others. Maybe a family member of yours that's struggling right now, or a friend, or maybe just the gratitude, that you have. The right now that's not part of your experience. All of that can be ways that you can tap along with this. So the experience of this community member is, and I paraphrased this, that I'm a sad, lonely person because I have no plans and no family to be with during the holidays. So a bit of judgment on I'm alone, so therefore it means this, which is very common. That's very understandable. So I am going to use the phrasing of, I have no way to be happy um, during the holidays. That's the way I'm going to make it pretty vague. So if you can make it fit you more specifically, please replace my phrasing with what fits for you. Okay. And we're going to start on the side of the hand and just gently tap. Even though right now I completely believe I have no way to be happy during the holidays, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now all I notice is that I feel sad and alone because I don't have plans or family to be with right now, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even if it doesn't make sense, even if I don't completely believe it, I'm open to trying it. It's worth giving it a shot to see if anything comes of it. So right now I'll choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Accepting my loneliness. Accepting my sadness. Accepting my feelings. Accepting my perspective. Well, nobody wants to hear about this. Not right now. The holidays are supposed to be one of the happiest times of the year. Everybody's gathered together. No one wants to be bothered with my experience. No one wants to be bothered with this loneliness that I'm feeling. Even though right now I might feel like no one really wants to know how I'm feeling, I deeply and completely accept myself. I acknowledge that this is how I feel. I agree to hear myself out. Even though I may not want to completely hear about how I'm feeling, and I may want to just dissociate into media or something else, maybe I can hold some space for myself. Okay, so now I'm holding space for myself. It didn't change anything. I still feel alone. Feeling alone. Feeling sad and alone for the holidays. I wonder, why are these the emotions that I'm associating with being alone? Well, because I am alone. It's not a feeling, it's a state of being. I am by myself. Okay, but does being alone have to mean lonely? Hmm. Well, I prefer to be with people. I would like to have plans, but maybe I can be open to the idea of being alone, but not lonely. Alone, but not lonely. Alone, but not lonely. Releasing my loneliness. Releasing the loneliness that I'm carrying. Releasing this loneliness in my body. Where is this loneliness in my body? So take a moment, and whatever emotion, if you're not thinking of loneliness right now, but where is it in your body? How do you know that that's what you're feeling? What does it feel like? And where is it? I can release this loneliness. I don't want to release this loneliness. Whether or not I'm ready to release this loneliness, I deeply and completely accept myself. It's okay if I'm not ready. Even though it may not make sense to me right now about why I'd want to keep it, I can hold space for myself in that. But I wonder, why would I want to hold on to it? Maybe loneliness helps me feel like I'm saying the people that I want to be with still matter to me. Or the fact that I would like to be with people and I don't want the solution to be that I'm okay without them. I would rather find people. And maybe I'm afraid that if I feel okay without people, then that means I won't ever get people. The reasons for my loneliness. The reasons for my sadness. Even though these feelings may go deeper and may be more complicated than what I've currently discovered, I deeply and completely accept myself. Well, there are people everywhere. That doesn't mean they're easy to connect with. And there are people everywhere. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're my people. And the holidays, well, they're kind of right now. And maybe it's true that I just won't have anyone here this year. Nobody here. Nobody here with me. But I wonder, am I here with me? Do I know how to show up for myself? Even when I'm sad, even when I'm lonely, even when it's not ideal and it's not exactly the experience that I want. Do I know how to give myself love? Do I understand the steps of really being present with myself? Well, I wonder how I would find that out. What questions can I ask to find out if I know how to do that or not? Questions for myself. Questions to know if I'm here, present with me. Because whether I'm sitting in a room by myself or I'm surrounded by thousands of other people, it's possible to feel lonely anywhere. And if it's possible to feel lonely anywhere, well, maybe it's true that also I can feel connected anywhere. Finding a connection. Finding a connection through myself, feeling a connection through others, allowing maybe a way to be surprised to be connected, open to being connected, open to being connected to myself, open to being connected to others. In what ways could I connect to myself? Now, usually, when that term is used, it's, through meditation, maybe through tapping, like I'm doing right now. But that's connecting with myself, like to resolve something or to build something. That's kind of like going to work or like going to therapy. What about connecting to myself for fun? How would I do that? How would I show up for myself just to have a good time? What are some things that I could do that would just be really fun? And, maybe something like buying my favorite dessert is it. But what about something like buying a toy? Something really cool that kids have these days that I didn't have growing up. Like maybe some of that really cool putty slime, or maybe doing something artistic, going and buying just some supplies to try something that I've seen, on a video somewhere, or going and getting a new pair of shoes to dance around in my house in, just taking myself on a date, or finding things that have a pleasing feel to them, a pleasing texture, maybe like a soft blanket and a can of shaving cream, not together, but and just allowing myself some curiosity and some joy with things that maybe I would feel a little awkward doing in front of other people. Maybe some things that um, I could be open to experiencing to make myself laugh, to make myself have fun, to allow myself to have fun. Maybe singing at the top of my lungs, or taking a bubble bath with 6 bath bombs. Maybe I get the really cool bath bomb that has the ring inside of it, or I can allow myself to think outside of the box. I can allow myself to find some really silly way of having fun that's just for me. Even if right now nothing's really coming to mind, I bet that as I hold space for it, something will come up. Allowing joy, allowing myself joy for no reason, allowing myself fun without any restrictions, just letting it happen. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can't do that. Whether or not right now I believe I can do that, I'm open to seeing a possibility of it. Being with myself, permission to have fun with myself. And as I continue to hold space to create connection and joy in unexpected ways, I continue to deepen that I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, take a breath. Okay. Now I'm going to look at the chat. This next one that we have that is through email that I want to address has to do with regret. So I want to see if there's anything else that you guys have written in here that we could tie in to that. Okay, resentment. You shouldn't feel it, it's wrong, but it's so strong and upsetting. Oh, Katie, I love that you shared that, because that is one of the things I talk about the most, is that when we have a feeling, the first thing we do is judge that feeling, and then we've got to let go of that before we can even get to the feeling that we're having. So thank you for spelling that out. You have a lot of people on your team with that. That is very, very common. And we will do some tapping for that. Hi, Dr. Scott. Hey, Holly. Jackie! Hi, Jackie. I hope you had a great birthday. Hi, Heather. Hello, Anne. Obligations during the holidays. Okay. More relaxed and content. Oh, you're so welcome, Kate. I'm glad. I'm glad that was what you needed. Hi, Carla. Oh, you're so welcome, Lisa. Let's see. A lot of stress around the holiday, guys. So that's I like that we're kind of globally have this theme. Okay, right. This is going to kind of be I may separate it into two. Trying to decide which one to do first. I'm still going to go with regret first, because I think that could maybe knock some things loose that will really help with all of these stressors and thoughts that are coming up over I really want this rather than that. Okay. Hi, Nia or Nea. I'm glad you're here. So with our community member, what was given, and this is someone that I'm keeping anonymous, is that they have lived a good portion of their life, and I believe every major decision in my life was a mistake. It haunts me. So we're looking at regret according to something I chose, and I chose wrong. And it stays with me constantly. I can relate to that. So if there's something that you can think of a road maybe you're currently on, or something that you've always wondered, what if I had just, this can get pretty heavy. So if what you're thinking of feels too intense and you don't really want to go there, then you can pause yourself from sinking into the experience of it and just go into where you're feeling it in your body. Where does that regret live? That's a bit of a safer place to address it. And then you can tap on how it is that you're feeling it rather than the event that caused it, if that makes sense. Okay, so I am going to go with the phrase, everything I chose was a mistake. Okay, and if you want to rephrase that, I chose this and it was a mistake, please do make it approachable for you. Okay, so we'll start on the hand again. Even though right now I believe everything I chose in my life was a mistake, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now I am haunted by a lifetime of bad mistakes, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now, as I look back on my life, all I see are mistakes. And I have really strong feelings about that. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Now, I'm going to say some things that may not be true, and it's important to acknowledge that. It doesn't have to be true for you. Just because you're saying it doesn't mean that you're saying this is true. It is pinging in your brain, where's the truth? Where is your line in this? So sometimes in tapping will go really far, so that you can go, oh yeah, all of it's true. It's all true. Well, that's not true right there. So you can start to find some boundaries to things. Okay. So that's what we're going into. Everything in my life that I chose was wrong. I didn't make a single correct decision. The only reason my life has had any good in it is because of the things that other people chose for me. Even those were doomed to not last. I was meant to fail. I was born to choose wrong. I was born to be miserable. And this is all that my life is. The entirety of my life is just a string of mistakes that never amounted to anything good. And even though this feels really heavy and really distressing, I am open to finding a different perspective. I don't want my life to haunt me. I don't want to feel like failure at life. I don't want to feel like everything I chose was wrong. But how can I deny the inevitable? How can I deny the truth? I am wrong. And I will always be wrong. Even though right now I feel like everything about me is wrong, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I don't care if it doesn't make sense. I don't care if it's not a positive stance. I'm just accepting it because it is what it is. And I can't make it better, but maybe I can make my peace with it. Maybe I can hold enough space to just say, and there it is. It's not what I want. It's not what I wanted. But I acknowledge how I feel and I allow it to be spoken. But I wonder, am I the only person in the known universe whose life is all mistakes? Am I the only gifted wrong chooser that's ever lived? Is it possible that there are other people who have chosen absolutely every single decision ever in their lives wrong? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's just me. Because when I look at other people, even if it's by mistake, they still choose correctly. Sometimes they still make a choice that benefits them or benefits someone else. So, hmm, I wonder. I wonder how it could be true that everything, like everything could really be a mistake. Where did I get this belief in the first place? I didn't find it last year. If I feel like my whole life, then I must have started being wrong pretty early on. Being wrong in my life. Being wrong all of my life. Being wrong in everything all of my life. Being wrong in my 50s. Being wrong in my 40s. Being wrong in my 30s. So wrong in my 20s. It's okay to giggle, even about heavy stuff. Being wrong in my teens. Somehow, even being wrong in my childhood. How could I be wrong in my childhood? I was learning then. I mean, I was making mistakes, but how else do you learn? Maybe, maybe I thought I had to be perfect. Maybe I was taught that the only way to be right was to please somebody else. Because I was a child, I didn't know what wrong or right was. And everybody kind of learns their own version of that, right? There's a different perspective of that really in every family. There are some things that are universal, close to universal, but really, right and wrong is taught. Is taught. So whose voice do I hear aside from my own in my head when I think of the regret that I have over all of my wrong choices? Voices. Voices with their opinions. Voices with their judgments. Voices with their perspectives. Well, obviously, I meant to be wrong my whole life. I mean, as I was making a choice, I thought, well, I'm batting 1,000. I might as well continue. And so, what would be the wrong choice here? Because that's really what I'm looking for. No, that's silly. Of course, I didn't do that. I tried my best. I tried so hard. All I wanted was to choose the right thing. So, if I did my best, even in hard situations, how could I be wrong? Is it the outcome? The outcome wasn't what I thought it needed to be, what someone else thought it needed to be. Well, of course, I had control of the outcome. Everybody has control of all their outcomes. Rarely does anyone have control of an outcome. All I had control over was me. And I did the best I could. But maybe I feel like it wasn't enough. And because my best wasn't enough, I'm not enough. And maybe I feel like I'll never be enough. And I have so much regret for not being enough. I'm so ashamed. I'm embarrassed. I really feel like, even though I did the best I could, I really just should have done better. All of these feelings, all of these judgments, all of this regret. You know what? Maybe some of it's valid, and maybe some of it isn't. But I wonder if I gave myself permission to let it go and to look at my life in a different way, I wonder what it might look like. Looking at my life, looking at my life a different way. It might feel scary. I might feel really uncertain about it. It may feel awkward. I may not really know how to go about it. And it might feel fake. It might feel like I'm trying to just create a story that's the narrative that I want to hear. Well, I sure have built up this narrative of what I don't want to hear. So maybe it's okay if I give it a shot. If I lean hard into it and I still don't see how it could be true, I can put it back down. It's okay for me to try this, to see if it's something that rings true for me. It's okay for me to look for peace. It's okay for me to want to feel good or settled about my life. And I can't change what's happened, but maybe it's worth taking another look and seeing myself differently. Because I know people who are too hard on themselves. I see people who do wonderful things who can't accept compliments because of it. Maybe it's possible, just maybe it's possible that I've done that too. And maybe I could discover that. And what a relief that would be. What a relief it would be for me to discover that it was just the way I was looking at it. Looking at my life, permission to see my life differently. Being brave enough to try. Allowing trust to give it a shot. Letting go of other people's pressures, judgments, opinions. Giving myself permission to find my own. I wonder where I would start. Maybe I can just start anywhere. I could start with the biggest thing that haunts me, or I could start with something that feels almost dismissible. But wherever I start, I can feel good about that. And however long it takes me to do it, I can support that. And as I gear up and move forward and exploring, being open to a different perspective about my regret, I deeply and completely accept myself. Alrighty, now let's jump into stress of the holidays. For a moment, it's over instead of glad I was present. Okay, so present moment. Oh, you're very welcome, Claire. Okay, let's use the word holiday. Okay, this phrasing may need to be adjusted for you, but I'm going to say, even though I'm afraid of what I don't want to feel during the holidays. You don't have to say afraid. It can be even though I'm tense, even though I'm stressed. But it feels more like fear. It's like, I don't want to feel that. Get away. So that's why I'm going with that. Okay. Here we go. Even though right now I feel fear about what I don't want to feel over the holidays, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now I am highly aware of what I don't want to experience during the holidays, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now the good times about the holidays are really clouded with all of this stuff that I don't want, but I can't stop thinking about it, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. And this is where I'm at. Here I am, this stress ball right before the holidays. Maybe I do this all the time, and I'm just chastising myself for doing it again. Or maybe this is something new for me, and I'm really judging myself for it. It's the holidays. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be connective. But I don't feel that right now. Right now, I'm struggling with this resentment that I can't let go of. I want to. I mean, I know I'm not supposed to feel it, but dang it, I feel justified in it. And maybe I feel like if I just let it go, then I'm giving in. And that's not right. That is not right. So what do I do? I don't know what to do. And I'm feeling like instead of this being exciting to be around so many people, I'm just drowning in the expectations of what I'm going to do for everyone. I don't get to have fun in the holidays. I'm little do everything for everyone else. And yeah, it feels good for them to smile and see them having a good time together. I really do enjoy that, but I want to be a part of that. I don't want to be the holiday genie that's just making it happy for everyone else, that is always in the back room with the person crying at the time. But I don't know how to not be that. And maybe I feel embarrassed that I don't know how to not be that. I'm confused. I'm confused about how to feel like I get to equally enjoy my holiday time. I really just want to feel free to enjoy the moment. I really would like to feel content. And I don't know if that looks like setting everything down or finding a resolution that works for me. But whatever it looks like, that's what I want. I just have no idea what that is. And these emotions feel pretty big. So I think the solution's got to be pretty big too. And maybe that feels overwhelming and not very possible. I don't have energy to look for a big solution. I don't have someone in my life like me willing to jump in and offer the solution like I do to everyone else. I don't know how to find it. I think I know what I want, but I just don't know how to get there. Even though right now I'm not sure how to get what I want and how I want to feel for the holidays, I deeply and completely accept myself. I accept that I am a complicated person with a menagerie of emotions. That's okay. That's everybody. I accept that it doesn't feel acceptable for me. It's okay if I'm having a hard time acknowledging my own humanity. I accept that I feel doubtful that there's a solution that will allow me to feel good and me keep the connections that I want. Because maybe there's some part of me that feels like if I don't do this, they won't connect with me, they won't love me, they won't appreciate me. And even though I don't have answers for that yet, I am open to discovering one. Discovering an answer. Discovering an answer for me. I give so many answers. I offer so much help. Maybe it's okay for me to have an answer. But what if I'm not me anymore? Well, what will happen? What will happen if I'm not this person? Maybe it'll be worse. Maybe if I'm not this person that I am right now, it's not going to be better. It's going to be worse. I really don't want worse. Even though I might be a little worried that changing something could make everything worse, I deeply and completely accept myself. I'm worried about that because I care. Because this is meaningful to me. I wonder if I had to define the way I'm showing that this is meaningful to me, what words would I use? That I'm afraid of letting go? That I'm afraid of trusting connection? That I'm afraid of accepting the level of connection that others can offer me? Because maybe it doesn't match mine. Well, those aren't happy definitions. Those aren't the definitions I want to define what this time means to me. I wonder if I started from a different definition, if I could then create different actions or different feelings or different perspectives. So how could I look at this? What could I say? What words or phrases could I use? These are the people that mean most to me. Your smile and laugh fills my heart with joy. I love creating moments that people respond to in a really happy way. I love to make other people cry because I touch their heartstrings. I've been accused of that. I want others to know that they matter. And I want to know that what I've done matters. No, I can't include myself. That's wrong. That's selfish. That's self-centered. Oof. Well, if I have those feelings coming up. Those might be connected to something deeper. And it's okay if they're there. But I'm also going to continue to hold space that maybe it's okay to include myself too. And maybe if I have trouble including myself right now as an adult, and it's easy for me to take care of others, then maybe I can picture the little child version of me, the little child version of me that wants to jump in and sing, or go enjoy a funny story, or sit and eat food while it's still the temperature it's supposed to be. And maybe I can take care of them, and I'll deal with myself in a little bit. But maybe it's okay to give myself this time. And just like all of these feelings may not be rational, I can allow myself irrational positive feelings too. I can allow myself a moment of peace. I can allow myself a moment of joy. I can allow myself a moment of love, a moment of connection, a moment of my heart being touched, even if it's just me in the room. All of that's fair game. So if all of that's allowed, then maybe I'll find a few words that I'm attaching to my holidays this year, that I am very open to seeking out and making a part of my experience this year. And as I have my words and make them a part of my focus, I happily accept whatever shift that brings, even if it's a little bit, even if it's a shift that only I notice. It's still a big deal. And as I allow myself this exploration, these permissions, this what's the word I'm looking for? No need to be validated joy. Irrational, that's the word I was looking for. These irrational happy feelings. As I allow these to have some space in my life throughout these holidays, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, and breathe. I hope that helps. And if you need to take a moment and tap, go to the bathroom, and this is a good spot, especially if you're feeling emotions in your chest, in your gut. Something you can do, and this isn't necessarily part of clinical tapping, but something I've done on my own that feels good, is I'll tap over the spot where I'm feeling it. It's kind of like just moving it out, that energy. If I feel like crying or if my stomach is tight, I'll do this, and it just feels like it kind of moves something around for me. I hope you have a wonderful week. I will be here next week on Tuesday, 1 p.m. Pacific time for another tapping session. If you're able to make it, I will love to see you here. If you're not, you are still in my thoughts and in my heart. I'll talk to you soon. Mwah.